Can everybody on Zoom hear us? Oh, perfect. I got a thumbs up. Thanks, Mark. Okay, we're going to get started here in a couple minutes. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. And as soon as we're ready, Tanya will step in and take over.
I'm gonna sit here. If you screw up, I can
Perfect.
tell you.
Love that. Buffer.
I know she'd rather do it, but I'm gonna be a buffer between you things.
Oh, thank you. I really need one right now. She's giving me the eyes.
Okay, hello everybody again.
And then I don't know who the Gold Ridge Forest Fire person is yet. She put you. It's Sherry Hop. Oh, it's Sherry. Oh, thank you, Sherry.
Okay, hi everyone. So I was asked to do the brown bag again to share our website. We have a lot of things. It's just something that everybody should be aware of. And then also we have a mapping tool that a lot of people use or would like to use. And so I'll be doing a little tutorial on that too. So we have this super long URL, but when you are searching us, all you have to do, I did this the other day and I couldn't believe it, is just type in OWPR into Google and our website comes up. So you don't have to do El Dorado County or anything like that. Just OWPR into Google and our website will come up. Otherwise, it's a really long URL. So here's our front page. Obviously, we usually have a ticker on here just of the top news or latest news, and some links to obviously the Fire Safe Council and Burn Day or whatever else is happening that's current at the time. So the first section is our wildfire strategy. I've gone to a lot of your meetings. I always open it with how OWPR came to be and just a real quick reminder for everyone. Post Caldor fire, the Board of Supervisors, really took a hard look at what the county was doing for wildfire mitigation. And what they found was that there was a lot of agencies and groups doing a lot of really good work, but everybody was working separately and independently. And there wasn't this coordination or communication about who was doing what. And as we know, that when you're not doing it coordinated, it's just not effective. So the county updated its county strategic plan in 2022, and that included the creation of a group, a coordination group to start working together. And that's how OWPR was created. So we are a newer office. This is the wildfire strategy that was part of the strategic plan update. And so you were able to go on here and see what that strategy was, and that we really are accomplishing what the county had set out to do in 2022. There is a section on real estate inspection. So just a little background on this. If there is a real estate transaction that takes place within a high or very high fire severity zone, that property needs to get a defensible space inspection. That is a requirement for real estate transactions. So they're called AB 38, which is what we call them, but that was they're not called that anymore. But anyway, CAL FIRE would do, let me back up, sorry. This is a state law, so CAL FIRE used to do these inspections primarily. Then local fire agencies were also participating in real estate inspections. And then the county was also doing them. So we had all these different entities doing real estate inspections. The new updated ordinance, when we did the update to the ordinance, we changed the timing on the reinspect from, I think it was a year, we changed it to 6 months. So it's 180 days that you have to have your reinspect. And you're supposed to get your you need to pass defensible space in order for escrow to close, unless you work it out between the buyer and the seller that the buyer will take on responsibility and do the mitigations to get passed. So we have this section on here because the county was doing real estate inspections, but now CAL FIRE has taken them back over because now they have, more capacity, and the local fire districts are also doing real estate inspections. And so this question comes up a lot. Real estate agents are constantly like, who's doing our inspection? What is the rules on this? Why are some charging and why are not? So this answers all of those questions. The answer is that CAL FIRE does not charge for real estate inspections. All the local fire districts do. So it just depends on where the property is located. There is a map somewhere on here. Right here, how do I know which agency will be conducting the inspection? So this isn't just for real estate agents, but also for,
They're asking if you're sharing your screen.
I can see it, Jessica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rich, are you able to see it?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I cannot. So, Mark, what's the secret?
Who's what's available?
In regards to inspections, a fire-wise guy who does voluntary inspections doesn't count towards that. It has to be an official
Right.
CAL FIRE
Yep.
or El Dorado County Fire
Yes.
inspection.
So
I think the important thing to remember here, I'm going to try to clear this up. There's a difference between an inspection, keyword, and an assessment,
Okay.
keyword. And if you go get an inspection
I
and
just have an
essentially,
assessment done by.
right, okay, and they both do essentially the same thing, maybe a little more home hardening stuff on the assessor than the inspection. But the big difference is if you get an inspection, CAL FIRE's done an inspection, they're going to give you a turnaround time to do a re-inspection. And you're on the hook now.
Even if they don't spot anything that like you just.
No, if you're clean, if you're clean, you're clean. But if there's anything,
in mind that I'm the not best property, most prepared property that he's inspected yet.
yeah, no, if you're good, you're good. But if you're not, they're
Right.
going to come back and do a re-inspection and you're on the hook till you get it cleaned up. If you do an assessment,
You're like super vigilant, like, hey, no, I want you back in 30 days. I'm gonna be.
So this is just for real estate inspections that I'm talking about right now.
Well,
That's the 100
I want to be
days.
buried on.
Yeah. no, but the difference, but in an assessment, you're not on the hook for anything. The assessor comes out, no charge. They're going to tell you, here's all the same stuff. If you get a CAL FIRE, they're probably going to ask for this. But now you're not on the hook for a re-inspection. You're on, you know what needs to be done. And you don't have that hammer hanging over your head that CAL FIRE is going to come back in 60 days or whatever
Right.
to do that.
Or the county.
So
Or
you
the-
don't necessarily
or the
have to wait
county,
180 days. They're gonna want it from.
So just real estate inspections are 180 days. So that you have 6 months to come into compliance for a real estate transaction.
Okay.
All other inspections, when the county or CAL FIRE goes out to do an inspection, which is enforceable and it's a legal, it's there isn't a time frame. We just say we'll be back in 30 days.
Okay.
And if people need more time, they call us, we give them more time, but we will be back no sooner than 30 days to do a re-inspection. And then we'll keep going until you reach.
Does
compliance.
anyone have any insight on, like, I've been trying to do the hardening discounts and just like get so busy. Our insurance jumped so much this year that I'm like almost started creating my own Firewise community because I didn't know we were a Firewise community. But at this point, they've applied all 12 discounts. But somebody's gonna come out and inspect. Does anyone have any insight? How long does it take for them to do that? Do they reach out to you or do they just show up on your property?
Show up, it takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
They just walk
And then-
around
and
with
they-
a
and
camera.
they
Here's
They
what
don't
you're
give
doing.
any notification they're coming down.
If you have a gate, it slows down.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Tanya, I did have a question
Yeah.
about, so I've been getting a lot of my fire safe council people, that some of them are realtors and
Mhm.
their hair's on fire about some of the stuff. So, about the real estate inspections. Some of them were asking about, there was like a third party, I guess maybe the county fire had contracted with a third party to do these inspections. Is that true? No.
No.
Because they were complaining about, well, this third party person came out, they're charging twice as much as, so that's not true.
No,
So it should be either county fire and they charge whatever fee, is that fee listed on the website?
it should be.
Okay, or
Yeah,
Cal Fire and
Yes.
they are free.
yes. So they need to come to this website and check to see who should be doing the inspection. It's not just county fire, it's local fire. So Garden Valley Fire does it in theirs. Eldorado Hills does it in theirs. Karen Park is doing their own. And then obviously county fire has a huge part.
On that map, you can click on a zone and it actually tell you where, I mean, from here, I'm not seeing like roads, Highway 50.
Well, when we get to the mapping tool, I'll show you some more
Okay.
detailed map. But this you can get a general idea of where you live and who should be inspecting. There are no third-party inspectors, so that's
Okay.
something that, yeah, it'll be somebody from one of the districts.
Yeah, they didn't want that.
Yeah, maybe it's insured. I don't know. I'll
Okay.
try to sort it out. So I'm.
So the steps on the inspection, we'll just go through the steps. This is if, it's like I said, it's only if you're in a very high fire severity zone. So you would come here and type in the address and then see if you are subject to one of these inspections.
Tanya, this is Cord. Quick question. Going back to what was just discussed, when somebody contacts the Fire Safe Council and asks for an assessment, it does feel like an inspector's coming out, or that's what they think. So it's not just in the assessments we do, but it's for like the defensible space stuff, right? Is that possible? What people are getting confused with?
Yeah, I mean, yes, people are certainly confused between assessments and inspections. And so that's really incumbent upon all of us to make sure we're making that distinction to everybody we're talking to. So Hugh, thank you for bringing that up. But there is a absolute distinction between an assessment and an inspection and the assessors and inspectors. So all of us are responsible, to make sure that we're educating people on that.
Yeah, and sorry, Cord, I was just gonna add to that for our defensible space program, our evaluators do evaluations and the home assessment does assessments and they do inspections. So we all try to have our individual words for it, and that's where the distinction hopefully lies.
And now that I'm talking about this, it's that we should be looking for opportunities that the community needs education on. And so if something in the next public outreach is that we could work on building out definitions for all of these for Fire Safe Council to put on your website and for us to put on ours.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in the book.
And to go into the workbook. So I will make a note of that, and that's something that we can do. And then that way everybody has somewhere to direct for these actual definitions. Okay, so you'll figure out if your home is subject to a real estate inspection, and then at this point, you will, after you determine what area you are in, you will request your inspection via one of these tabs. After you submit it, then you will be contacted by the responsible jurisdiction that will be doing your inspection. And then again, here's the map so that you can kind of get a, idea. And then you can download a copy of the map. And then here are the inspecting agencies with their contact information. And no, they do not have the prices. So I was wrong about that.
Last I heard, county was charging $250, I think.
Yeah.
Last I heard, I don't know.
Royal County Fire.
Yeah, so we do have this, and it's the fees will apply to whatever jurisdiction is inspecting. This is important. Just when should you request? Again, The inspection report is valid for 6 months. So if you are going to put your home on the market, get an inspection right away. And that way you have time to do the mitigations or, and it's good for 6 months. So if you pass, then you get to use that but don't wait until what happens is people are like, oh no, I can't close escrow until I get this inspection and escrow closes next week. And if the fire district or CAL FIRE doesn't have the inspectors to do it, then, then you're gonna have to work out something with the buyer and that's more complicated.
I've had several people come to me that are going to sell their property. And they asked me to come do an assessment prior to asking for an inspection. Because they get the same thing. You ask for an inspection, they're going to tell you got to do these things. If you do an assessment and, all our folks, if they do it right, they're going to know the same thing. So then they can clean up the assessment stuff, then call the inspector. And if the worst case, they're going to have less stuff to do. So a lot of times that's available to them and no charge for that.
Like preventative measures.
Yeah.
Did you do assessments?
Yeah.
And for all 5 districts of the Placerville Firewise or?
So the El Dorado County Fire Safe Council has a home assessment program. If you contact our clerk, she can sign you up.
Yeah.
She has
I signed up.
yeah, they have
You
a
already
full
have one.
list of people.
I
Okay.
didn't know if they had their own zones, like I'm in Placerville, northeast.
It's independent to the assessor. Some are willing to travel, some aren't. So yeah, we try to match you with somebody that's closest to your requested parcel.
Excellent. In terms of outreach, so
5 more, that's it.
getting this has been done early, seems like a issue, like whoever's listing your property, they should be advised from the
Yeah.
clients that this needs to
Yeah.
happen. So is there outreach to the realtor?
That is something that we worked on a lot last year and will continue to this year. Yeah.
Like you have people that go to meetings? or-
Mhm. Yep.
or-
I spoke to probably 6 real estate groups last year. And just will continue to, yeah. It's just,
Great.
they have a lot of meetings and so I'm asked to come, but I could be more proactive about that. But yeah, and again, we aren't doing real estate inspections anymore, but yet everybody calls our office still for information. So this is why we put this on here.
I think that's a great topic for
Yes,
have a program.
yes,
So.
yep,
Also,
yeah, yes.
No, the realtors are asking for Firewise certificates.
Yes.
Paul Gilchrist had a Cameron Park realtor ask for a Colorado certificate before he boarded their meeting.
Right.
We sent it, we now put them up on our Facebook site.
Actually, yeah, she contacted me because she's asked me.
Oh, it was you, that's right, yeah.
And, the dilemma of, the info's there. Yeah, if we can.
Sorry, Lester, yeah, it was you.
I use it as my carrot to.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. When we get to the Firewise section, we'll talk about that real quick too, because that is something important. Okay, so anyway, these are just real estate inspections. There's all the questions regarding real estate inspections. So if you know people who are going through this process or real estate agents who have questions, everything is here to answer those questions. And then, of course, they can reach out to me and I can come to a meeting. Okay. So then we have the Defensible Space Program. This is obviously one of our biggest programs that our office manages. This is the ordinance that was updated in 2024. So we do have the ordinance here, a description of what defensible space is, how to create it, knowing the zones and all the additional information. So we have the links to CAL FIRES and the fire hazard severity zones and all of that. And then also on this page, we have the complaint form. So again, there's different kinds of inspections and complaint driven inspections are one of them. Our office is the only agency that will do complaint inspections. There was other fire districts doing them as well, but since our office would be the enforcing office, We've taken on all complaints. It's kind of like a trade-off. You take the real estate back, we'll do all the complaints. So that's,
Oak tree ordinance,
yeah, I'll get
is
there.
that a separate?
It's on here.
So a complaint thing is like if you were doing all this work and your neighbor just like does nothing, you can like, can't, hey,
Yeah.
maybe you could push them a little to do something.
Yeah, so, yep, if your neighbor or anybody that you see is not,
And would you have someone go out, is it just in regards to flammable natural stuff? What if they have like 12 cars parked in just
So-
like a junk pile,
yeah, so we just manage the hazardous vegetation.
vegetation?
But
Okay.
there's code, if you have,
Right.
if there's people in violation of code, then,
I have a property next to me that's been repossessed by HUD. And they take forever to do anything, so I've gone over there and cleaned up a bunch of it on my own.
Go to the ordinance,
But I'm
go to the ordinance
frustrated.
and look at the definition of fire hazard. But we put that in there specifically for what you're talking about.
Right,
Anything that would hinder the firefighter from putting a fire out. In other words, a lot of cars parked in the way, they can't get to it. That's a fire hazard. It's
right.
falls under the ordinance and needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
Undeveloped properties.
yeah, we also inspect vacant parcels, vacant land, so, the complaint form, just going back to that, it is anonymous, so you'll come on here and fill out, give us the address. But just note that if you file a complaint, you too will also be subject to inspection. And that's just it's really just to make sure, not to make sure, because there's always gonna be neighbor issues, but this can't be about neighbor issues. This needs to be about true fire safety. And also, a lot of times it's education. So when we are doing the inspection on the person who complains, we're able to say, okay, great, you're doing a great job, but you could probably fix this. And they're like, oh, we didn't realize that. And so it really is educating them too on whatever they may be doing, or what they could be doing. So,
Like an accountability system.
Unless you complain about county property. If you complain about counter property, they're not gonna inspect you.
we do not, correct. If you are complaining about county-owned property, we do not inspect you.
Would county-owned property include like children's bus stops and thing like that?
No, it needs to be owned by the county. I mean, those are usually on private property, bus stops.
Oh, I don't know about many others. Just the one near my house is county. Skyline.
And is there a defensible space problem?
Yeah, like they have that shed there for the kids, and I had a contractor come out and clear it because the county wouldn't come out. But it would be nice for me to know if this is the form I'm supposed to use to
Yep.
report
Yep.
that.
You got it.
Yep.
Now I know. I didn't know what to do, but yeah, okay, good to know.
So as we talked about during the meeting, the county emphasis areas, we call them CEAs. CAL FIRE calls theirs DSIAs, defensible space inspection areas. But this is when we talked about, we get together in our working group and identify what areas we are going to inspect. These are what these areas are. And so these are our active CEAs right now. And then we'll be posting more after next week when we pick the other areas. So these are areas that have already been completed. And these are PDFs of maps of the area. So right now we are starting Georgetown. And then we'll bring up the map of the area that we're inspecting.
So on there where it also has CAL FIRE inspection areas. But like, some of the other fire districts that are doing, would those not shown up here?
They will be, yeah.
Okay.
We've built this out a lot more this last year, and so this year it'll be much more,
So
it'll show
we're
the other
saying
areas.
Hank 68 guard, that's gonna be for 2026.
So these are active.
Being active.
These are active right now, so we're actually pretty much done with Hanks Exchange. We're just going out and doing a couple loose re-inspects. have opened up Garden Valley. We're about 6 weeks into Garden Valley and we're starting Georgetown now.
And that's just us going in and doing inspections? It's
Inspections.
not like, small burns or anything like that?
No, these are just defensible space inspections.
Oh.
Not home hunt.
Correct.
Oh.
No home hardening. Yeah.
And then the areas you highlight on the map, you inspect all of it, all the highlighted parcels?
Yes.
Okay.
So prior to us going out to do an inspection, we have an address list of everybody in the area. So I'll pull this map back up. So we get an address list of everybody who is in our area, that inspection area, and they get a mailer that says, we're gonna be in your area doing an inspection. Come to a workshop and figure out, find out what it's all about. And we'll have a workshop prior to us going into the area.
And it's
So I have a
well,
question.
Yeah.
So right now, if you were to look at my property, you've got, weeds that are 2 feet high. Within the 100-foot zone,
Right.
within the 30-foot zone, they're all gonna be cleared out by fire season.
Right.
How do you handle that in the winter?
It's the same thing. It's just it's
Common
lots,
sense.
it's a lot of, we had something come up on next door and, somebody's freaking out because our inspector came out after a rain and the leaves were on the ground and,
Mhm.
how dare we point out their leaves when it's raining and all of it. And
Yeah.
it's just, and we're not out there saying, okay, we're giving you a citation
Right.
because you have leaves on your ground. It's literally like, okay, so you have the leaves, when it dries out, go ahead and get these up. It's literally us going out there and saying, it's educating, but making a list of like, we'll be back when you get it all done and we'll just make sure you did it. And that's all it is. And it's not a hard 30 days. So right now, like we'll go out and Bob's house will have whatever, all of this grass, and we'll say, okay, Bob, we'll see you in a couple months. Then when we know you'll have all this done.
Yeah, Bob, they also, like anybody that they feel would be eligible for our defensible space program, they keep in close contact with the EDCFSC and they'll refer a lot of these people to us. And so I know the leaves one got passed down to me, and I was able to just explain to her that these are educational, they're letting you know this needs to be done. And if she just gets signed up with us, they'll hold off. We provide them a date of, yes, they've signed up and they're going to be taken care of through our program, and they'll postpone the next inspection until after services are completed.
so for unimproved lots,
Mhm.
parcels, the inspection would only be in the event that there's
Good
some
neighbor.
portion of property that's near
Right.
another resident.
Yeah.
100 feet.
So just Lester asked about basically what's the good neighbor policy, which is part of the ordinance. Every structure needs to have 100 feet of defensible space around them. So if your neighbor is encroaching on your 100 feet, they're responsible for that amount of distance so that you can have 100 feet. So a vacant lot doesn't have a structure on it, so of course they're not gonna have their own defensible space, but they need to have defensible space for your structure.
So kind of on that same line, out in our area, part of our area got inspected in the first wave of these inspections. One of the people was talking to me afterwards, was really frustrated that there was a parcel that had no permanent structures on it, but there was a lot of stuff on it, like people have moved in shipping containers
Oh,
and
wow.
vehicles, and maybe it was Tosbro, I don't know, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff and a bunch of human activity on this unimproved parcel. And it did not get inspected. How do you handle those kind of parcels that have no permanent structure, but there's activity and stuff?
Again, when we go out and do these proactive inspections, we are not inspecting every vacant parcel.
So it's,
But if we're able to see it from the road, or if we're able to see it from a neighboring home and we see that there's a violation, then we will mark the violation. I'm not sure who inspected we didn't do Sandridge, so it was somebody else. County fire, okay.
File a complaint?
Yeah, I
File a
mean,
complaint.
the answer is to file a complaint so that we can go out there and put our eyes on it, yeah. Okay, and I do want to say that we do emphasize education and we want people to reach compliance voluntarily. That is the goal because that is fire safety. But we absolutely will enforce if they do not, if they're not working towards fixing their problems. If they will not contact us, if they are completely avoiding us, in all of our letters, and they are a fire hazard to their community, and they are showing no signs of wanting to get better or, make things better, then we will enforce, and we have. And we can, and by the county taking this on and updating the ordinance, we do have teeth to do enforcement. So,
They can get a fine.
yes.
Good.
I'm gonna share, one of the things that the inspector, as you get to either Firewise designation or redoing your risk assessment, talking with the inspectors or the lead, there's some good information that you can use in part of your Firewise risk
Yes.
assessment. In our area, for instance, they pointed out that most folks were pretty good in the zone, in zone 1, less so in zone 2. And so from our, so as part of our Firewise, we can say, that's an area we need to focus on in our action plan. So anyway, just that it's some good information broadly.
Yeah, that was a really good thing that Lester did. He reached out to our inspectors and just after we had gotten done with his community and was able to get, because when you're doing your risk assessment for Firewise, you can't necessarily get into all of the homes, but our inspectors are getting onto all of the properties. And so our inspectors are able to say, yeah, this is what we noticed when we were out in your neighborhood. So that was good information.
So to encourage others.
Yeah.
I want to back up just a minute and talk about the enforcement thing. There's something unique here. And the only reason I say this is I played this game for a long time on the enforcement side, right? There's something unique with the county. When they did the ordinance, when the county updated the ordinance, representative from county council was on that team that updated that ordinance. That's key. They clearly understand and had an input into what's in that ordinance to make sure everything that's there would fly if it goes to court, and they have to do, and they know. So that's a big advantage because even with the state, when I worked for the state and stuff, when we did stuff, you get some attorney that has no idea what you're talking. It's a mess, but the county's got it pretty well handled and the way they do it. So I just want to throw that. That's a really good thing.
And it's finding that balance, right? Because I mean, I was not here when they passed this ordinance, but there was, there are some supervisors who didn't want enforcement at all and just wanted it to be education. Other supervisors wanted it to be enforce, and we should just be enforcing. And so there's finding that balance, and it's not just doing it because it's doing it because we want to reach fire safety in our communities, and it's finding that balance. And so we do stress education and compliance and resources because that works. It does work. It works quicker than if we put somebody through an enforcement and we're collecting fines forever. I mean, that's not reaching fire safety.
Although it's interesting that what we do assessments, and I've driven by, a number of the homes that we've done assessments on, and a large number of them haven't really done much. Whereas the inspections, went from that 50% up to 90%. So there's clearly a value in the inspection versus the assessments.
Yes, absolutely.
I have another question.
Yeah.
So I live on an incredible steep piece of ground.
Mhm.
When CAL FIREs come out, they told me, properly so, that my defensible space should be out 300.
Yes.
Do your inspectors
Yes.
enforce that?
We will.
Cal Fire got that from the ordinance. It's
Yeah.
in the ordinance.
Yes, and it's dependent on your property. So we're obviously enforcing to 100 feet, but if you're in your situation, yes.
We did that for two reasons. One, on your like your property, the house, you know, you want to go 300 feet. We also did it because of roadside. A lot of times roadside, they don't go very far. They did 10 feet. Well, 10 feet, if you've got manzanita 10, 11 feet out there and that manzanita is burning, you're going to get flame front across the road. So the county now can go back and make them go, if it's on a slope on the downhill side, up to 300 feet there too.
And that's not completely clearing, it's
No.
it's certain, like you wanna trim branches up 20
Right.
feet or
Correct.
whatever. That's 50 feet out or 100 feet out, that kind of thing.
Right. Yep. Okay, any other questions about defensible space before I move on? Okay. We do have a section on our website about home hardening, so home hardening is not law, so it cannot be enforced, but as we know, as you especially know, as Fire Safe Council, this is part of what reduces the chances of you losing your home, is
Well-
hardening it. And so
I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's not 100% true. If your house was built after July of 2008, there's certain things in that house that under the building code has to comply with. You know, decking material, vents, siding. There's stuff in the building code that when the house was built after it was July 2008 that it had to comply with. So let's say I built my house in July of 2009 and my deck, I put a deck in and it was all Trex or TimberTech and it was all good. Well, I needed to replace that and I replaced it now with something that didn't comply. Now I'm in violation. My house was built prior to 2008. I can replace that deck with anything I want because you can't make it retroactive. Does that make sense?
Huh.
You get it? So yes, home hardening is required on certain home hardening things that were in the code that may have got missed by the building official or whatever, but those things are there and technically should have been done when it was built. It's in chapter 7A of the building code.
So we have some information on ways to harden your home. A lot of these are affordable and practical ways to do it. We also have resources on other, like CAL FIRE has a really good home hardening section, and then some low cost retrofits, and just some other guides.
I
But
was gonna ask you, is there a program, one of the only things that I'm still gonna do? About half of my gutter length is got really nice aluminum gutter guard. The other part I need to do, is there any programs, rebates or anything to help pay for it?
yeah, not at this time.
Gutter
We
guards.
do have what's that, Q?
I say not for gutter guards, no.
Do you know of other things?
Windows,
Win-
actually, there's it's interesting because it's over on the energy side. Is replacing single pane windows with energy efficient windows. And so the fire benefit that you'd be doing through the energy on side.
Okay.
And that's through the county.
That might have run, is it county?
Pretty sure,
Oh.
well, that's how I heard about it.
Okay,
was
because
through-
the state had that, but I thought that it ran out. I thought it ran out time. I don't know.
I usually remove.
But it's worth checking, definitely.
We do have, on that note, we are one of 6 counties in California who were given a FEMA grant. It's an HMGP grant. Ours is $25 million. We put it in a project area called the Weber Creek Project, and it is home hardening and defensible space. Yes, but yes. And what that says is that this is on the radar. Home hardening is on the radar, and why us being able to do these projects, we're going to show like that we have actually strengthened and hardened a community and what that means as far as the fire risk reduction. So home hardening is important, and it's being also looked at higher levels too. So we keep on it. And so as the assessors that you're going to be after April, they focus a lot on the home hardening, on ways for communities to do that.
Done next couple months, I was just hoping there was like a coupon where I could just do, buy the stuff cheaper, I'm gonna do it myself. Just the good ones cost a little bit of money.
So our next tab is the assistance program. So property owners, this is all the Fire Safe Council assistance programs.
In the house.
And
Is
so
the hazard tree removal, last I had heard, and it's been 18 months. It was taking a long time, like somebody would be on the list and like I've been on the list for a year and they still haven't come and got tree.
so that's
Is
it.
it still sitting in that?
For hazardous tree. So we're actually at the end of that grant. So if you were on the list and they haven't come back, then that means that no trees on your parcel were eligible.
It's not for me. I have a neighbor
Oh.
who has a tree and
Yeah.
he keeps waiting. It's gonna crush his house. And
Ye-
I've offered to.
Why don't you talk
let
to
him
me
drop
after
it
this
literally
meeting?
Where it drops like into my property. It's all handled with my tractor. It's such a dangerous tree that I don't even think a tree climber would climb on it.
Talk to me after the meeting.
Okay.
How much and I missed this, I can't find it. Each program, I know chipping is, I got that part once a year,
Mhm.
6 hours. But for defensible space and for hazardous tree, what's the maximum amount a homeowner can get?
So the maximum amount changes, so we don't post it publicly.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it just changes depending on funding, so it's dispersed equally per parcel depending on the funding that we receive, so we don't post it, but it is just one free service a year, and they will work up to whatever that dollar amount is at the time.
So is there a new grant coming or is being?
Yeah, we have,
or
yeah, we've been in some consistent grants lately.
so it'll like start up in spring as
No,
a
it's
new.
still going. It never stopped.
Okay.
Oh, are you
It's
stop?
not
I'm sorry.
beginning
Are you
date.
talking about hazardous tree?
Yeah,
Okay, so hazardous tree is transitioning and it should be reopened around April 1st.
so like it's not a calendar year, it like goes from
Nope.
April to March or
It's
something.
just dependent on when we get approved for
And then
funding.
run out of funds and then
Mhm.
find new.
Yeah.
Although I thought somebody in our area was told that, under the one grant, it was only once per grant, but they could be.
Yeah, we were talking about, he was talking about defensible space. It got kind of intermingled here, but yes, so as it was, we didn't have CEQA clearance, so we were only allowing one service per parcel. When we get CEQA clearance, which I believe we're in the process of doing, we're probably going to open it back up to a second, but it hasn't formally been decided yet.
What is CEQA?
The
California Environmental Quality Act, it's the environmental assessments.
Who do I talk to about dating?
Jenna. Okay, so those are the homeowner resources, through the Fire Safe Council. And then we also have some landowner resources. So CAL FIRE and the USDA has some grants and some assistance program for larger landowners. Now, moving on to, I'm gonna skip the mapping tool and we'll do that last, but Firewise communities, so for those that don't know, the regional Firewise coordinator is in our office. It's me, but it might not be me someday, but it'll be in our office. So and we are here to help people become Firewise or to help them renew or just answer any questions. We are not the agency or entity that is approving your applications or your risk assessments or anything like that. We're just here for a local liaison with NFPA and CAL FIRE. So last brown bag, I did a presentation on how to become a Firewise. So that presentation is on this section of our website as well.
Nice.
Was there a link to? Or maybe a map of?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'll show you, it's a good idea, Lester, is just to put a map on Firewise of the Firewise communities.
And if there could be then a link from that map to the certificate, so that would solve a whole bunch.
So the certificate is a issue that we have struggled with. We, as the county, wanted to provide a service to the community, which was to provide their certificates. But what we're hearing from Firewise is that they want to use those certificates to draw people into their Firewise communities, which makes sense. So instead of just me giving out certificates to anybody who asks, what I should be doing is directing them to, you live in Strawberry, I'm gonna give you Angel's number and Angel can give you your certificate, and then she's got you trapped and
It's called bait.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, no, that's what we do. Texas Hill, that's what we do. Janet Mills, she's got them. Anybody that wants one, we just say, or we'll call Janet and she'll send it to them, or give it to them.
To tell them what you can
Leave that up to you.
stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
same sort of thing.
And between the contact people from new owners and just took it over. It's very beneficial.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Bob just commented, that it's on his Facebook page, and that's great because they'll call me anyway and
Yep.
say this, and I'll say, oh, here's the Facebook page. And so now they've been connected to something that they may not have seen otherwise. And we get a lot of resident inquiries about certificates, but primarily real estate agents. And so,
Yeah.
so that is going to be how we move forward, is instead of giving them their certificates, which obviously I have access to all of them, I will just forward them to the correct resident leader and you can handle
Is
it.
there any kind of advertising that's gonna be worked on being done? Like, I notice here there's no Firewise signs, like there's one at Crystal Boulevard for that area. When we were looking to buy a house in Pool, the Auburn Lake Trails had signs.
Mhm.
I lived here for 6 years and only found out a month ago that we were a Firewise community, because I was starting to create my own Firewise community because I didn't know we were one. Is there any kind of outreach
Well,
that's
each
being done?
Firewise
Let
community,
people know.
well, each Firewise community gets
Get
their own
sign.
sign.
Yeah.
So if your community doesn't have one, they should probably get one.
Well, I've driven, I mean, I'm a landscape, I drive all over Placerville, I've seen some, I think
Placerville,
I've
they
seen a
got
sign
four
in
of
Texas Hill.
Where do you
Yeah,
live?
Placerville has 4 separate Firewise communities because they have too many people. So the guy you want to talk to David Zielinski
Okay,
and say, hey,
right, I caught.
but somewhere, I'm sure they got those signs posted for the different sections of,
I'm on Mosquito Road, so I'm Placerville Northeast.
well, maybe I shouldn't be 100% sure.
Well, let me just say, so
Somebody like you guys. Work with David, figure out where your signs
I
are.
think one of the reasons I felt.
Amen, Elizabeth.
It's a trust situation where people had died and the realtor who sold the house is from back of it. So she probably had no idea that it was Firewise. And then I had a special realtor helping us find the house that's from 100 miles away.
Mhm.
So they just, neither side was aware, so they didn't tell us, oh, by the way, this is a Firewise community.
So Bob's gonna say
yeah,
something that I
let me
think.
just say, so our last board of directors meeting for Coloma was, one of my directors unfortunately took on the process of trying to contact County Dot to get approval to put these Firewise signs on, stop sign poles or whatever. And she is so frustrated at this point. She just has gotten nowhere.
County.
Hmm.
It's easier to go on private land than just do it.
Yeah.
Gotta be
That's-
county.
That's a good point. I never thought of that because we have our own, in our area, when you come into Texas Hill, it's right there, but it's a good point.
There was one of them on 49. Well, that is, forget that. That's a state.
State.
No way.
So
Crystal Bowl. The entrance. I think
it's not on.
I love seeing those. I see them.
It is nice.
We're doing this.
Thing to note
Something nice.
is that a lot of Firewise communities that have an entrance, like a start to their road,
and one right.
like Logtown or like Sandridge,
Texas Hill.
their sign is much more visible because that's what you see when you go enter that community. Places like Bob's area, there isn't a one row. And so the sign could be somewhere where you don't see it necessarily.
Once we get done with the map, you'll understand your boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably are.
That's how many people. you need the discounts being applied to their insurance. That's what drove
Yeah.
me to do a lot of the education.
Well, all of our organizations are working close together to do the best we can to educate the community.
Right.
Okay, wonderful.
Something that I can offer new services and all of one talk to the landowner, like right there on Mosquito Road, hey, would you be interested in that little sign right there? And if it's this big, and not, you know, 8, the one at Auburn Trails, if I remember right, it's like 8 feet wide and 4 feet tall. It's like a full sheet of plywood.
Yeah, no, they entity, you can request a sign, nice metal, they're about this big by this big. Signs, you see a pole or something, put it on and.
I just got my Firewise certification and they asked me, do I want the 2 signs? And yes, if I want more, it's for the fee.
You mean to your Firewise certification for being an assessor or?
No,
you
no,
mean-
for my community.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like one of the newer communities that's
Correct.
become part of an area.
Each Firewise community gets 2 free signs.
Yeah.
2 signs when you are newly vetted or
Certified.
certified.
Have them made
You
myself.
get
I
2
don't-
signs.
Hey, these are really nice signs.
They are.
That's what he first said when I brought it up. He said, we used to have some. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's why you paid $400.
All right, let's recenter, guys. And Tanya.
Anybody
Yeah.
online, any comments? No, okay, all right. Does anybody, yeah.
They all
I-
shut down.
this is any other questions
Alright.
about Firewise? It's okay, this is I know it's a
Well,
big topic and.
The only other thing, the reason you want to have your own through your own Firewise group, you have to get a new one every year. So you can imagine if the county, it's good only for a year. So they send you a new one every year as long as you meet the requirements. So I can imagine the county having to keep up with that. They can't. So you need to do
Oh,
it.
you mean paying for a new sign every?
Not a new sign,
Just have to certify
not a
it?
new
Yeah.
sign. The sign itself at the entrance of the community has no expiration date,
Okay.
but your certificate, the paper,
Oh, right.
has an expiration date.
Right. I'm just wondering how many more people live around me that don't know they're in a Firewise community.
Well, they don't, and that it's not just Firewise and community-wide, any program and
Right.
responsibility that people have to be fire safe that most people don't know about.
Right.
You'll see it at every meeting that is ever had. It's very minimal turnout. Most people are not engaged in it and Firewise isn't
Yes.
just about,
They still get.
Firewise isn't just about an insurance discount. It's
Right.
being a fire safe
Well,
community.
actually protecting.
Right. And so
Not just the insurance.
it's, and that is what the message should be. And that's how we're getting our message out. We are not going to market an insurance discount. The county won't, and I know the Fire Safe Council won't either. So we will market fire safety and becoming Firewise is one of those ways. So, and again, it's everyone's responsibility to educate our neighbors, on all of this. So, moving on. Weber Creek project, I briefly talked about. We don't have to get into this very much. This is just a very big pilot program that we are, that the county has undertaken, and we are moving along on that. If anybody has any questions on it? This is again, $25 million FEMA grant. The most of the funding comes from FEMA. Then there's a little bit of funding from the state and then a little bit of funding from the county that did a match. And by doing that, we were able to do this project with no cost to homeowners.
Is there with the Placerville South thing, is there a map available for that particular program?
For Weber Creek or for
Yeah, the
Placerville?
Weber
South?
Creek
Yeah,
program?
so it's right here on this section.
Oh, it's showing it.
Yeah. You are not in it if you're on the.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not, no, but I've had a big concern about an area that's between Coon Hollow and 49, and that might be. in
Yeah,
it,
I think it is.
Where it's just like all digger pine and it looks like 100 acres of just
Yeah.
forgotten land.
So this isn't the landscape work. This is the work on the homes. So this is
Okay.
home hardening and defense.
That's 525 parcels.
Wait,
Um,
oh,
What's that?
both, right? You get both, right? You
Yes.
get
D-space and home hardening, yeah. The CWPP, what we just talked about today, that's finalized. We still don't have the final on here. We're waiting for one more signature. And then now with all the ADA compliance laws, we need to make sure that the document is in compliance before we post it. Are you leaving? Are you dropping off, Ken? Okay, nice to see you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then insurance information. We are going to be doing a lot more insurance things this year. Our office will be, but here's some current insurance information on the website as well. There is some information about PG&E's programs, which they do have a lot of different programs. So it's a really good thing to look at, this PG&E and SMUD stuff, and also EID.
So the SMUD stuff has to do with, even though it's not Sacramento, they have power lines and stuff going up to the power generation plant on the American River and stuff, right? So,
SMUD has transmission lines here, so yeah.
yeah, we see the SMUD part going down Meadow Lane all the time. They go to the hyper.
And then we have a resources page, which has our toolkit and also all the other resources that are available. So we have all the information you could want. And then what a lot of people want though is this mapping tool. So you can go to our online mapping tool, and here it'll be an outline of the county. And we can find a lot of information here. What I like, what's that?
I use the hell out of it.
yeah.
A lot of people do. It is a really, really good tool. I like to come on here and take away all those brown lines because I hate them. So these are the layers that you will select. I always go to the base layers and remove the roads or the city. I'm gonna have her fix that. I don't like how the highways are so thick. But once you zoom in, you'll be able to see parcels if you have them selected. You have to zoom in pretty well though.
See the house.
There's a lot of data. It takes a while to load.
Lines are those roads?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like the main roads.
Like Mosquito Road is right where you just were. So,
Yeah, you have to zoom way in.
Sorry.
Parcels.
So you can come on here and select what you want in for your bases. So you can pick water, you can do different landowners. So if you wanted to see where BLM land was, you could select that, or BOR. You can see what Forest Service land is. You can also see all the transmission lines. So these are SMUD and PG&E. So yes.
So, you know, when I try to do this,
Mhm.
this mapping tool will only give me any information if I type in an address. I've tried to do, like, I want to find my Firewise communities, but I needed a map. And I tried to zoom in and and it doesn't work. Is it
We can try it. It should work. We can try.
I'm just wondering if it's slowness of my Wi-Fi.
It might be.
I've seen some videos and stuff fine, but I have had nothing but frustration.
Elizabeth, what I do is I will unhighlight, the political boundaries, the West Slope, the El Dorado County base. I'll unhighlight that and just click on the Fire Safe Council boundaries. And then you have to zoom in to a certain size in order for it to show. Really?
And so I end up going to like an address here where I want to look.
Right.
I don't know. It's just extra. I've never.
I'm gonna try it.
so you're saying, in other words, unclick the blue boxes, the first two, and on the bottom, those two, and just click Firewise, and it'll show.
Yeah, or Fire Safe,
each of the
whatever.
Firewise communities.
Okay, so we'll just find Fire Safe Councils. So if you notice, the main fire safe councils is not selected, so that we need to make sure that is selected.
Mhm.
And then you either want all of them or you just want individual ones.
Can you highlight that string?
Highlight it, just do Diamond Springs, okay. So I'm gonna deselect all. And go down here and find just Diamond Springs, and I need to make sure that the main one, this individuals is checked, and then click Diamond Springs. Okay, and so then, oops. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the roads, this is my hate.
I know, that's why I unselect all of them too, because I'm the same way. It drives me nuts.
So there's Diamond Springs. If you are doing an individual, it's not gonna be colored. It's just this black, so it may be hard to see if you have road selected. But I mean, I can
Zoom in.
zoom all the way out and I can still see it, so. Well,
But,
not
you know,
all the
you
way.
may want the roads just to see them out.
Yeah,
Mark has his hand raised online, Tanya.
Mark,
Hey, Tanya.
Hi.
I have a question when it comes to the imagery. If you go to Grizzly Flats and do the base imagery, it still shows the entire community as green. And I mean green being unburnt. And I'm
Okay.
wondering why that hasn't been updated.
Okay, I'll look at that in just a minute. I'm not gonna forget you.
Okay.
But let me, yeah, does that answer your question, Elizabeth? I mean, is this,
So I'm gonna try again, but I've tried probably a dozen times over the last year and it's
yeah, so if I unselect Diamond Springs, Bob, did you want to see something in Diamond Springs? Okay,
Well, can I question though, because you said that for a single fire safe council, it comes up uncolored.
correct.
You can't go in then just set a color and or a ACD.
No, we can't, but, so see how I selected Sand Ridge and it's gonna come up a black outline. So it is something that I can suggest to GIS to have them pop up as colored. Would that be helpful?
Well, and adjustable, that you can change the,
Right,
you know, intensity. Because, yeah, that's been important so that we can show things.
So when you unselected roads, you unselected everything, not just highways and the stuff that ends up being cluttered.
Oh,
It looked like there was a spot where you
You
could
can do
click
it.
where it said just county
but it's a
roads.
line.
Add just county roads back in or something.
El Dorado County roads.
Okay, so then that helps you to understand
Yeah,
what you're looking at.
Yeah.
In other words, if you're not really into topo maps, you're not even gonna know what you're looking at.
right. So adjust for individual fire safe council or firewise, having it come up as color and being able to adjust the transparency.
Okay, have you updated the Firewise community?
Yes, they should be updated. So we'll look at firewise communities. I'm gonna get rid of fire safe councils. And go to firewise. So these are all. Now, if I want to not look at all of them, I can deselect all and just choose individuals and then pick which ones I want to look at. Who wants to volunteer?
North,
Gold Hill North.
last time I looked, it wasn't.
Well, still not here.
Cold Hill, is that Paul Heights?
No. Old Hill, Claw Bridge.
Thanks, Bob. I will get that. fixed.
How do we request updating that when there are changes to?
Send it to me and Jenna. One of us will get. Okay, so you have another one?
No,
Okay,
you're good.
Placerville Northeast.
okay. Placerville Northeast. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Let's look at that. So there's your Firewise.
Now zoom in. Let's see what the streets look like.
You want me to turn streets on, or you can
Yeah,
see the
Is that
streets?
showing, have you, when you zoomed in, those whites, are those little roads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
the
I'd be
names?
able to do it from out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Mosquito Road and then 193 is in the, I didn't know.
So do you want to, who wants to give us,
193, huh?
who wants to give us their address?
2360 Wilder Lane.
2360. So now if we go up to here to, we're gonna search an address. For that.
I didn't even know that was there.
The search bar.
Basic school.
So then, so just a note about when you're searching addresses, you can never type out or spell out lane or road or drive. You have to use the abbreviation. And all you need to do is just that and hit enter or search, and it'll come up with some search results.
The town or
No,
Would it still work if you didn't put the abbreviation, if you just put Wilder?
it might come up with some search results.
Some options.
So then, okay, so then it went directly to your parcel. Now you have some options. You can just click on your parcel, and in here, it will tell you about it. So you are in, I'm gonna deselect this Firewise.
That little triangular pie pattern, that's the house that's been taken over by HUD.
Okay, so when you put in this address and you click on the box, it'll give you some information about it. So it'll give you the parcel number, and then also it should be giving more than this. It's gonna make me a liar. What this should say is it should say what fire safe council you're in, which
Oh.
Firewise community you're in.
Well, except, well, we were already in, it was already outlined when you punched in
I
the
know,
address.
But this,
But I get what you're saying, if you just punch in your address, you wouldn't have already known.
Do you think it doesn't show it because you unhighlighted them?
no, that's
Oh,
what.
okay. Okay.
So I have a question.
Yes,
So, I had asked you some time ago for 5 parcels on Marlboro Road.
yeah.
Can I just find those parcels and get addresses?
like, could you also search, just click, like if it's an.
No, it will not show the address. It'll only show the parcel number.
So if you, for those that aren't aware of the surveyor's office, has what's called GotNet,
Yes.
which is GIS on that. And there's a whole lot of additional info there. What would be really nice is if this would somehow link to GotNet. So that you can click on a parcel, get the address, get you know, the supervisor. You gotta do a whole bunch of tricky things to get the name. But
We can't even provide the names. You can only provide.
Names
the
is
address.
an extra
Yeah.
step.
You're gonna pay money for that, haven't you seen that website?
My ROEs for the grant that we submitted. And I found addresses that were far away. And I got responses from everyone.
So I've got 5 parcels,
Send them to her.
Yeah.
one way.
Yeah.
You're saying I could find the address and the name of
If
the.
you looked hard enough, you could find any information you want.
you can't get it
on
this- I haven't
I
found
use
what,
the verbal.
it just comes up as a
County.
actually CDF, it's not. So you end up having to then transfer,
It's a good one.
Yeah,
but
I just use their county tool.
I use that too.
I
And you.
find
you were able to
everything,
find it
no
without
names, but
Some kind of keys.
yeah. It's on,
Well, that's a big internet thing. It's like you wanna find someone's phone number and pay this money.
which is where I sent my letters and my ROE requesting them to sign it, and I got them back.
Yeah, because it'll.
It's the
because
name that's
Assessor's
different.
being
It's
said.
not-
The one thing is it's.
That's why I use the vacation.
So.
To my favorite promo.
Yeah.
Looking at sales and how long.
To current resident.
Which is essentially a one-way in and out road, that cuts across 5 parcels. And the road is actually owned by the parcel owners. And we're trying to get some.
Right, so there are 5 different easements.
I mean, if there's only a couple, you can always go to the county and go to look it up yourself. You can find all that. And it's free, but you got to spend the time to look it up
I know that.
at the recorder's office.
If you go to the surveyor's office, the Eldorado County Surveyor's Office website, and you'll see .net.
Tanya just said she'd get them for me.
I got it. I've owed him this for quite some time. Let's say. Okay. Let's just say we lived here at the Legion and we want to become a Firewise community. So you were like, let's see, this is my community and I want this to be something. So we can come in here and there are some tools that we can use to draw boundaries. So I just went to tools, I went to draw, and then I can either put a point, like if I just want to say, oh, I need to mark this parcel right here, I can pick whatever marker I want. But if I wanted to draw a line, we're gonna draw a polyline, and you'd pick your line color and width, and then you can come in here and draw.
Some people can't.
Made a
right?
liar out of you, didn't you? Works better with the
need
mouse.
Some.
Yeah, works better with the mouse.
It's hard with the pad.
Right.
But we believe you.
Oh, yeah, so if I had a
I
mouse,
want my mouse.
You'd be able to solve.
I would be able
I
to
only.
draw this line around where I wanted it. And then you could
Right.
screenshot, you can screenshot it and send it to me and say, can you have GIS give me this map?
Nice.
Or you can use that map. But there are ways you can use these tools to draw whatever you want. If you want a project somewhere and you want to, put that. So you're going to be asked by Tamara to participate in these workshops for the CWPP implementation. And what she's going to ask you is to identify on a map where you think projects should go. And so you can use this map with these tools and identify your projects and send it to her.
Nice.
So is there any other questions? If you're having problems, there's a feedback button up here and you can just put your question or whatever issue that you're having. They were originally going to GIS. We have just changed that just in this last week, that we will be getting most of them, our office will, so that we can try to help you. And then that way we'll also know what. That's geospatial information. It's our county. It's the county's GIS department.
So if I put in an address and it's a fire safe council area, does it tell you what fire safe council you're in?
Yes.
Contact is?
So let's just use Wilder still, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna select fire safe
Context changed too much.
council.
Not around here.
Well, not yet. You
Not
don't.
yet.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. So I'm gonna drop a pin on this parcel, okay? And then I'm gonna zoom out so that I can still see where it is, and it's gonna tell me it's in Placerville Fire Safe Council.
Right, but there's no way to know it's David Zelinski and he's the chair or
No.
anything like that. So that's why
I would
contact.
something.
So,
Changes all the time.
so
that's why when you all volunteer to work the fair booth or any booth that you work or any public facing event where you have an opportunity to tell this young man what fire safe council he's in, you always have to have your contact list, so you can also tell him who is the chair, et cetera, so that that fire safe council.
So theoretically, it
Wait a
gets
minute.
updated when they research.
Well, wait a minute. Let's think about this for a second. Now that you mention that, Texas Hill, we have our own webpage now that's through
Mm.
the El Dorado County Fire Safe Council.
Right.
So if you say you're Texas Hill Fire Safe Council, if you go to our webpage, there should be some contact information in there.
Link our.
That's our
the pages
our
and-
email address, our phone, all that stuff's there. So
Yeah, we could link it to the,
Yeah.
I know, in the past, it was Alice had prepared binders, like for the fair,
mhm.
of each of the fire safe councils with.
oh yeah, she showed me
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
So, yeah.
It hasn't been updated for a while.
Okay.
So,
Yes, Alice did it the last time.
yeah,
All right.
exactly. But it is something she showed me and it is on my list of things to tell Dorothy.
Yeah. But if I'm working that booth and somebody comes to me, let's say you, and you say, well, so I'd go to say, well, Placerville has a webpage. Go to Placerville Fire Safe Council, Google, find your webpage. There's your contact people. And it's up to them to maintain that, not fire safety. So that's
Jessica.
Thank you, Hugh.
Yes.
When you took, like, some of the mapping tool stuff to with .NET would allow either when you're in .NET to clip to, say, the fire safe council boundaries. Then you could just generate a list of all of the addresses current. It's
Yeah.
and it was be some.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Yes, I have a note. Thank you.
Angel sends a list out every year with all the fire safe councils and the chair, vice chairs and all that. And I usually just print that out on a 6x9. I just make it 6x9, punch it, throw it in a notebook, or you could 8.5 by 11. She
And
does
I
that
think
every
what
year.
Lester's saying is you can actually go to your area and get a list of, through GotNet, get a list of all the addresses in that
Oh.
area.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you and I are kind of talking, but I
Yeah.
think what he just said went in and stayed
through the surveyor's office
into
there.
my brain.
No, that's
It
good.
stayed. Mhm.
Especially I like your idea of the ROE.
Something done.
It's a great idea.
Mark, going back to you, is this what you're referring to?
No, actually not. So if you go to the tools and then base map and then imagery in the upper left, and we're all green. So they're using an outdated satellite photo.
I think it's 2016, pretty sure is what I've been on, on the base maps for quite a while.
I don't know where the county gets that, who they get that from.
Get a discount on it because it's old.
No,
No, it is because it's green.
Mark, I will find out when the last update was and what the plan is for the next and get back to you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Tanya.
Any other questions or experiments or comments, suggestions?
No.
I found
Problem solved syndrome.
Okay.
I found it really useful. It's really
Yeah,
useful,
awesome.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of really good.
Yeah.
Good.
Looks-
We are so lucky in this county. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would prepare a grant proposal without this. I mean, I guess you get your little paper map and you draw on it and take a photo of it.
I've been using free online mapping tools and they are really not fun to use, so.
Yeah, and then just speaking of coming up with projects and grant applications, I mean, we have CAL FIRE's fire related layers right here. No, that's not it either. Projects. Okay, so CAL FIRE access routes, you could put in. Okay, by Grizzly Flats. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not in Grizzly Flats. But you can put in. The CAL FIRE layers, and it'll tell you where they have identified their priority project areas, their critical access routes. And that's all really helpful when you're designing projects to be able to, you know.
Is strawberry pink?
Why not? It's strawberry.
That's right. They picked the color just for me, right?
No, it's not. It's not highlighted at all.
It's not highlighted.
Mm-mm.
I wondered about that.
How did I
don't-
just twist it
I
all
have
around?
no idea. I think you did 2 fingers.
I need a mouse.
Here,
Yeah, you have to be double touch.
put this in.
Oh, you really screwed it up.
I sure did. Good heaven.
Everybody.
Sorry if anybody gets vertigo.
Yeah,
Just
right.
just leave it that way. Take a screenshot of it. Tell them you need a grant to fix it.
Mhm. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know how you fix
Twist
it though.
back. That is
Maybe
so
press the home
pretty.
button.
Yay, there we
Yay!
go. Okay.
Come on.
Escape. Goodness.
Yeah. Delete.
I'm looking at strawberry.
So,
Well, so they're not.
Oh wow, mine doesn't work at all without a mouse. No, my kid. I don't know
Doesn't
if you've
surprise me.
noticed. My children.
Well,
My son.
is that a lot of,
buttons.
isn't that federally owned
My
also?
3-year-old. He was
It's
determined
not?
But it's such a dot.
to shoot it up
before
and
the-
yeah.
Oh, that thing you are talking about, some strawberry.
Am I going north?
Right, okay, no, I know that.
Yeah.
All around us.
Just near the Twin Bridges.
Oh, boy.
We're in an SRA.
Game control.
Oh, yeah.
Am I going north of Whitehall? North of Kybers?
Look at that face.
Tahoe.
That's actually east, but yes, keep going.
I'm
He's a sweetheart, but he is a handful.
They go through that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it is a
just-
bad.
what?
Maybe it's a little pink. No,
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 no pink.
no pink.
Olives. So.
But that's interesting because I didn't think that there was any SRA in there.
Yeah.
Click on.
It's all force. It's not all force service.
Oh, see.
Yes, Tanya, this is Corey, can you put up the what do you call it, that shows what each color means?
Legend.
The key.
Legend, the key or legend, please?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So what's this?
We didn't have enough money to do that part.
And it will be.
Where is the legend?
It's- I think it's in the hashes there next to the 3 dots. It really should be a default to show it, and you can optionally turn it off.
No legend. No. Okay, here we go. Okay. So what are you wanting to see?
I just want to know what each color means.
Oh, okay. Here's the
Well,
legend.
Because when you go to look at LRAs and SRAs, the colors aren't always shown, so you have to go find the legend to know which one's which. Thank you.
Yep.
One thing I was trying to do a bit ago, anyways, was come up with acreages from this, where I had roads and trying to figure out, the roads within a certain emphasis areas. And I was having trouble doing that. And I wasn't sure if you're able to do it from this map.
So you want to know the acreage in a specific boundary.
The intersection between, it was the grant application we were putting together, which was doing roadside fuel reduction along the segment of Sand Ridge Road that was within a CAL FIRE emphasis area.
And
And
is there a way to draw a loop and have it tell you how much acreage is in there? So like draw a polygon and have it tell you that's an acre or.
So I,
No, it would need to be, you would give us your polygon and then I'd ask GIS to come up with the acreage.
so what I ended up doing was just clicking on each segment of the
Yeah,
code
and then
it's
adding
just
up the
telling me.
acreage, yeah.
I'm sorry, PG&E asks for KMZ maps. So when you go to their KMZ site, you can draw a loop and it creates the loop and then you hit measure and boom, it gives you all the measurements.
And you know, that's true, but I don't know if we measure, because we do have measurement over here at pool. And it's, let's try it. Let's do it. What are we doing? Sandwich?
So I guess that's.
Bye, everybody.
Bob, I know.
Bye,
Okay,
Bob.
thank you.
Good to see you, Bob.
Oh, right.
Is this sandwich? Okay, so. Right here?
We're not going east.
Ever eat shredded wheat? Okay.
Never eat.
Never.
Ever.
At East.
Right here,
Big
doggy
rock-
waffle.
East. I have their albums, yeah.
And you wanted to know what the acreage is here. Let's just pretend that's what you wanted to know. Okay, so we're gonna draw a line.
You can't do it that.
Yeah, remember you weren't able to do that when I was out.
I have a mouse.
You got a
pad.
mouse now.
Oh,
She's been empowered.
someone just had one in their back pocket.
I did, in fact.
She gave her the one she was using.
Okay, I'm just making up a line.
My name ain't Sharon or Karen, ain't you?
Okay, and then I go to measure.
Okay.
No, it's not gonna,
This. I guess you can do distance along the road. and-
but not acres.
That's what,
Measure the road and then 100 feet.
that's what I had.
Just call Mark Egbert and say, what's the cost right now per mile roadside clearance? He'll tell you.
But I'm gonna ask if there's any way we could, if you drew a polygon, if we could measure acres.
For square feet or whatever, just something.
2,000 a mile. A mile. 50 feet on each side, but it also depends.
looking at
Depends if you're on a, that's what it costs more. So it's an average.
This?
Yeah, yeah.
All little circle anywhere
Yep. Okay,
and then hit measure.
no, it wants me to click on it. So,
With the answer.
No, I think that was me.
I think you drew a line all the way around.
oh,
Not-
here's acres.
So you have
Ooh.
to do measure person. Okay, cool.
Well,
Huh,
But you get a polygon, I mean, you could do a,
you
can you
should be
click
able
it and make a, oh yeah, you can. There you go. Awesome, we figured it out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more of these classes.
Yeah. Tanya's learning too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a map nerd.
I
okay?
am also learning. Thank you, Tanya.
Not a nerd.
You just delegate. All right.
Yeah, I do. So, okay,
I do.
yeah,
have a
there's
bit
a,
of both.
so there's little neat things. I mean, it,
Oh, I can't wait for our assistance programs.
Oh, yeah.
any other
It looks
questions? Anybody online have
like
anything?
this.
I know we
It's
lost
looking real
everybody.
good.
Couple people, okay. Okay. So anyway, thank you, for looking at all our. Yeah,
Oh,
and I have a lot of
Like-
notes on things that we can, suggestions and stuff like that, so that's all great.
That's good.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually mess around with it till I get mad and slam my computer to the floor and then I'm done.
And then,
Then I call. I'll say, did you get that?
Dorothy said, very nice job. Thank you.
oh,
Tanya."
thank you, Dorothy.
Yeah. We're not allowing.
All right, everyone, I'm logging off. Thank you.
Bye.